What's up, Womack Nostalgia? Dave here with a review of Clipse's fourth album, Let God Sort 'Em Out. Nearly 16 years since the last Clipse album. Of course, Clipse, the iconic Virginia rap duo of brothers Pusha T and Malice. Malice went on an extended hiatus, as people know. Around the same time, of course, Pusha T linking up with Kanye West in good music and embarking on a very successful solo career that we are still invested in to this day. But there were signs, inklings that a Clipse reunion would be happening. Malice changing his name back from No Malice to just Malice after, finding God and going on the spiritual journey that he does reference on this album. The first sign of this, though, was actually a while ago at this point, pre-pandemic. It was on Kanye's album Jesus is King with the song Use This Gospel, featuring a new Clipse performance from both members. And at that point, I was like, oh, they're going to make another Clipse album. And I thought it would probably happen a few years ago. But here we are at this point, and Push and Malice have done an amazing press run to this point. And a big part of that involved them talking about probably why this album didn't come out a few years ago. Is Clipse bought out their Universal contract, and they've talked openly about the label interference that they felt was happening, where a Kendrick, the mere presence of a Kendrick feature on a Pusha T album was too much for Universal, given, of course, the past beef between Pusha and Drake involving Kendrick in any way, even if they weren't talking about Drake, was too beyond the pale for Universal. And of course, Clipse is not going to capitulate to something like that, so they found a way around that, and now they've put this album out on Rock Nation in the way they intended, with that Kendrick feature now present. And what's so great about this album too is that, for as good as it is, it's the latest example of the changing expectations we should have with rappers as they age. Malice is 52, Pusha T is 48. Rap and rap stars and rap Hall of Famers and whatnot continue to get older, and that's just something we haven't really seen before, right? You think of like Nas with his King's Disease run. You think about the fact that J. Cole's in his 40s now, right? Rappers are just getting older, and rap stars of the traditional sense are actually becoming harder and harder to break. That's a bit of a different conversation, but Push and Malice do not sound old on this. They sound really good. Clipse's fourth album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, is exactly what any Clipse fan would have wanted this album to be. This is banger after banger. Malice and Pusha T sound so great together. They sound refreshed. They sound mean the way we've always wanted them to sound. These guys are great storytellers, and they continue to find great ways to talk about familiar themes of their past and of their previous illicit deeds in interesting and engaging ways. These songs are still fun. There are just so many songs on this album that I think are absolute bangers, whether it's the lead single Ace Trumpets, this Travis Scott disc containing So Be It, my personal favorite MTB TTF, All Things Considered. Pharrell's back on here. This album just kind of rules, to be honest. I think it's the best rap album of the year. It's just the most cinematic one, the most one that I've wanted to go back to several songs with the most. I'm just really impressed with it. I'll be very curious if this is kind of a one-off thing for Clipse and Pusha goes back to his solo career, or if now Clipse is like back and they're just gonna take over and run the game as probably the best rap group active right now. Is that where we're headed? I'm not sure, but this was an amazing place to restart. The album starts off, honestly, in not my favorite place. The Birds Don't Sing, John Legend feature. Nothing special for me, honestly. Chains and Whips is the song with the high-profile Kendrick feature, despite all the pearl clutching from Universal. Kind of like a Western vibe to it. I think Kenny's good on the song. It's nothing like spectacular. It's nothing mind-blowing. If you think about previous Pusha and Kendrick collabs, I would of course go back to 2014's My Name Is My Name with Nowstalgia. We're not on that level with this. This song is honestly just all right, honestly. Similarly, POV, which features Tyler the Creator. I mean, frankly, I just don't think I needed most of the features on this album. I think Clipse and Pusha are doing something that just Tyler can't really match from them, to be honest. And, for whatever reason, Kendrick just doesn't feel like he necessarily matched it too much either. Like, they don't get in the way. They just feel kind of superfluous. On POV in particular, I think Mouse comes in really hard when those drums shift. I think that song's really impressive. So Be It, which was the second single in YouTube form at least. This song is gas, man. I think that beat in the background just sounds incredible, almost like a sitar at an Arabian Bazaar type vibe. Sounds so good. Of course, that's where you get the Pusha Travis diss. You cried in front of me, you died in front of me. Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. Very pointed, very specific, and he outlined the meaning and reason behind that to the New York Times in a very entertaining way. But even if you take that diss out of the song, I mean, it's just a banger. It sounds great. All things considered, another banger. I think the beats are so dope. I like the way those mono keys really hit. The Pharrell, sung auto-tune chorus, I think is fine. The verses, though, are super fire. In general, I think a lot of Pharrell's singing on this, and that's his presence on all of these songs that he appears on. It's singing, primarily choruses. It's okay. I don't know if Pharrell comes across as impassioned, as interesting as it used to be. It definitely feels like him being the creative director at menswear at Louis Vuitton is more of his priority these days. So him recording these at LV, it's like it's fine. I'm more interested in Clipse and Push. It's like Pharrell, Sans, Chad Hugo. Like we get some Neptune's vibes here, but it's not quite the same. I mentioned before, MTB TTF is my favorite song here. I like that both Malice and Push, they start out with like a freestyle before the beat then drops, and like that key starts looping for them, and their flows are just great. I mean, just amazing lines. I mean, made $1 million off the flow to the nays. Only 300 bricks can make you Leonidas. I think it's just incredible stuff. And really, between So Be It, Ace Trumpets, All Things Considered, and MTB TTF, that 4-song stretch is absolute flames, like melt your earphones type of things. And of course, Ace Trumpets, the first single, kind of a similar touch again, where like it starts off before the beat drops in, and then once that beat drops and Push gives you just an instant classic with Yellow Diamonds Look Like Pee-Pee, I mean, that shit goes great. I also love the reference to Kanye on the song. Still waiting on Yeezy, better get your squeegees. Push has a way with words. What can you say? That song's a banger, though. And Malice, man, because we haven't heard from Malice to a tenth of the degree as we've heard from Push in the last 15 years, right? Malice sounds great. On many of these songs, he sounds better than Push, which just speaks to, I think, how sharp his pen still is, and makes you kind of wish that it feels like we missed out in some way over, in the past with Malice not being around. But he sounds so full of life on this album, and his raps are great, and I mean the memes are still the memes, I mean there's the coke rap is still here, but you don't get tired of it, just because there's just authenticity, there's such a charisma to the way they talk about their past, and it's just really entertaining. Inglourious Bastards, of course, is definitely a highlight for big Clipse fans. Of course, Ab Liva is here, part of the Re-Up gang. Very lively horns, like the way those drums are shaking. It beat really makes you move. A really callous line from Push is also on this song. Me just being me, respect to P&B. I probably never eat at Roscoe's. I mean, man, throwing a backhanded diss at someone a rapper who got murdered, who you didn't have any connection to before, that's gold. That's some gold stuff right there. So Far Ahead, I think the flows are really good here, like the way the beat kind of like pops in and out as you're listening. And then Let God Sort 'Em Out, the title track here featuring Nas, who I think matches these guys like any old head could. That beat in particular, I think, is mean as hell. And yeah, man, I'm really happy about this album. This album is awesome, and like I said, very curious about what the future means for Clipse, what the future means for Mouse. They sound so good now. They will definitely make more music in the future. I'm sure it'll be a little bit of time. I am planning to see them live next month, which I can't wait for. I'll do a concert review of that once I do see them. I've seen Pusha, 4 times live, I think. Of course, never with Mouse, so I'm looking forward to that. Let me know, though, what'd you think of Clipse's comeback album, Let God Sort 'Em Out? What was your favorite song? And for more music reviews, more rap reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.